Hi, it's Elaine from Penguin Place Crafts. I had a nap today, okay? But for some reason, as soon as I put the microphone on, I did this big yawn, and I must have yawned so big, I activated the video on the phone. I don't know if I like scrunched up my shoulder because usually I have to like wave my hand over here. I'm afraid if I wave it over the button now that it will stop the video. I don't know if that would work that way too. But usually I've got to like wave my hand like this, just up a little bit, about there. And that will get the video started. And apparently something about my yawning started the video. It's Saturday. Got up early. It's like, okay, getting stuff done today. It's May 31st. Tomorrow is June. It's 1 week to my birthday. 2 weeks to my next craft show. We can do this. Okay. And it's June. It's a new month. Do I have any goals? No. None whatsoever. Well, I am going to collaborate with So Magical Michelle for a make-along, not a crochet along, a make-along, because it's not just crocheting. You can knit, you can crochet, you could do diamond painting, you could do woodwork. It's like her mermaid make-along that I put up a video about this month. Only next month I am collaborating, and I just got a Ravelry message, not Ravelry, Etsy message, but it wasn't a cha-ching, so I'll deal with that later. Okay, so I got up early. I'm like, okay, enough of these doing my puzzles at 10:30 at night. I'm going to do my puzzle quota for the day while I am still fresh. Still took a couple of hours, and just the intense concentration for a couple of hours. As soon as I finished them, I fell asleep in my chair. Okay, but then I got up and I got to work on the last of my outstanding custom orders. Someone on Etsy had contacted me about my duck on a swing, I call them swinging chicks, listing, asking if I could make a blue jay. I was like Googling blue jay and making all these little pictures. And are they in here? Are they in here? No, they're on the pattern. They're on the pattern in the notebook. I was doing pictures. I did grid lines and sketched out. And okay, I had to tear it out after the first 3 rows of color work because I gave it 3 eye patches instead of 2. Tore it out, started again. You ready? Are you ready? There is the blue jay swinging on his little swing. Doo-doo. I think I just sold him. I think I just saw a cha-ching. This has actually been my best May ever. I have consistently been getting Etsy orders throughout the month, even though I say that my shop is dead during the month of May. I have been getting orders. One of them was from one of my YouTube family here. So thank you, Lori, for starting out the month well with a nice order. So what now? Well, speaking of Lori, okay, back to this guy. This is a pattern on Ravelry. I think it's called Duck on a Swing. And with a few modifications, you can make a mallard, an eagle, a flamingo. I've made a cardinal. The cardinal is pretty tough because you got the color work. This guy had color work. It's fun. It's fun. I like him. I still have plenty of the blue yarn. I will probably make some more. So I got some catching up to do. I have some Etsy listings to restock because I've been making some sales. So what is left of scrap bag 2 from Lori is going out to my chair, and I am going to try to finish this off as soon as possible. I also have an Afghan that is 1/3 done, and I need to get that finished by the end of June. So, you know me and my math. I'm going to count how many rows I've done so far, which is 1/3 of it, and then that will calculate, I can just double that, and that will be how many rows I still have to do, and then I will divide that by the 30 days in June and figure out how many rows I need to do per day to stay on track. Yep. Think I'll stick to it? Maybe for a day or two. And then around June 28th or so, I am going to be working around the clock trying to finish it up. Because that's the way I roll. Oh, I keep seeing videos about Hobby Lobby clearance. I was there twice last week. I went deliberately on Monday and I got some clearance items that weren't on the shelves with the rest of the stuff. They were in a separate little cupboard. On Friday, I was in the same plaza as the Hobby Lobby, and I said that my car just went straight over. So, I don't know. For the sake of keeping my yarn stash within reason, I probably should, keep working off the stash here. It is so tempting to just go and it's like a party when you go in and the yarn is 75% off. It's like, woohoo, you know how much I can buy and you stay within budget. But, okay. Let's see how much I can get my stash down in June. Should I try to? Yeah, I should try to make June a no spend yarn month, no spending for yarn month. I'll probably get yarn. Last year, at least one of my daughters gave me yarn for my birthday. So I might get some yarn into the house. But I can back off for June. In July, I've got 2 big shows. If the weather is good for those, I get to make a big yarn purchase. Because, where was I going with this? I'm sorry, I keep getting Etsy messages from someone and they're distracting me. Big yarn purchase. These 2 big shows. They have both. Last year, they were both in my top 10. Last year, Street Fest was my best show ever. Even 2 years ago, it rained all day. There were thunderstorms. There was a river running through my tent. And I think it still might be in the top 10 shows. Because people were coming up. Okay, there's a little break in the rain. People came out and they were still shopping. So, between those 2 shows, I will definitely be in the black again, and I could afford myself a little treat. Maybe instead of yarn, maybe I'd buy some patterns that I've really been wanting to get, or some new books, or I don't know. I have one favorite hook. I think I've shown it to you before. I'll have to take a picture and put it in here. It's called a mud hook, and it's heavy. But just the way it fits in my hand, it's perfect for me. It's my favorite hook. I've tried getting other hooks, like I got a wooden hook that's a similar shape, but it just doesn't have the same balance because of the weight. So I don't think that that creator, that Etsy shop, even sells hooks anymore. And it's a $50 hook. I won a 50% off coupon in a contest. But $25 for a hook is a bit rich for my blood. But it's my favorite. Maybe I'd buy myself another one of those. So that's where we're at right now. I'm caught up, and I'm just reveling in the fact that I'm caught up and I have some more freedom. I'm just going to play with this yarn. I'm just going to see what hops out. I think I see at least one monster in here, and I think I see at least one dragon, and there's going to be some mushrooms. So I've definitely got some ideas of what to do, and it'll be fun to get back to a scrap yarn challenge. And I have some other challenges that have been just put on the back burner, like my Grand Ami venture, where I make up amigurumi that my grandchildren have decided on the colors for. I was supposed to make up a dinosaur in May, according to Sophie's colors. Haven't done it. So it's time to catch up on some stuff. Get the Etsy shop. Get things in Etsy. Like, okay, the squid's in there. If I make a few more Jada in Stitches, did a tutorial for this goofy frog. And they work up really fast. And they use a little bit of scrap yarn. And I got 2 of them now. I should make a listing for these and get them up on my shop. But I always feel like, oh, I need to have 3 to put a listing up. What's this guy? This cat. This cat needs to go into one of my cat listings because he's not going to sell when he's just sitting here on a shelf in the craft room. So that's my life today. Feeling good about being caught up somewhat. Feeling a little stressed that I have not put a single stitch onto Trudy's blanket, Trudy's Afghan. That's the one that needs to be done by the end of June. I haven't put a single stitch on there since I visited my friend Joanna. Was that the beginning of May, Joanna? It's been a while. That was the last time I worked on that. Got to work on that. You know what else I need to do? I need to start dropping hints with my husband. Tell him what I want for my birthday. I would love to have another like postal scale, food scale, whatever, that accurately weighs yarn and packages and stuff like that. I have an old stamps.com scale that's probably 20 years old. And it's very finicky now. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. There was one time when it was off by a pound. I took the package to the post office and they weighed it, and it had weighed up on my scale at like 2 pounds, 12 ounces, and it was over 3 pounds at the post office. Fortunately, that was still within the same price range, like the priority mail. It was still the same price. So I didn't get dinged. The customer didn't get, so far, nobody got dinged. But I need to have accurate scale. Okay. I just got another message. When somebody sends you like 5 messages over the course of one video, I think maybe you better stop making the video and go answer the messages.